Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Shirley's Kitchen. It's been quite a little while since I've done a cooking video, so I thought I'd give it a try today. I'm really excited to try these new freeze-dried foods that I got from Thrive Life. So this morning I'm going to make some scrambled eggs, and I'm going to be adding some of their cheddar, grated cheddar, some diced onion, and red bell peppers. I'm going to be using real eggs this morning, as I have not yet ordered their scrambled egg mix. So I'm going to be using regular eggs and these products to make some scrambled eggs for the family this morning. The first thing that I'm going to be doing is prepping all of the products so that they'll be ready to put in the eggs. I'm going to start with the cheese because it takes a little bit longer to refresh. So I'm going to be doing that one first. These are what's called the pantry size cans, and they're maybe about 6.5 inches tall, and about maybe 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter across. This container of onions weighs 3.95 ounces, so it's all very lightweight. The cheese weighs 11.99 ounces, so that's the heaviest one. And the peppers weigh 1.69 ounces, so all very lightweight, which is going to reduce the weight inside of my trailer. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Plus, it's going to give me the added benefit of saving space in my refrigerator. I'm just going to be using portions that I need for a meal at one time, and so I'm not going to be storing a lot of things inside my refrigerator. It's going to make a tremendous difference. All right, well, let's get started with the cheese. This says drizzle 3.5 tablespoons of cold water over 1 cup of cheese and stir, and store in a resealable bag and refrigerate for 35 minutes. So we're going to open this up. I'm not going to be using 1 cup. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup at a time. Just, you know, I don't want to do too much at one time. The other benefit that I see for using these foods is that they're already prepped and prepared. So I'm not going to be having to be doing a lot of chopping and dicing and dirtying the cutting board and knives and that sort of thing. So it's going to save on dishes. It's going to save on water consumption. So it has a lot of added benefits. And it's going to save time in preparation. All right. These come with a moisture pack. And you want to make sure and keep that in the container while you're storing an open product. But for now, I'm going to lay that right there. This is what the cheese looks like in the can. And as you can see, it's more than 3/4 full. Looks just like regular cheese. So I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. And then it says 3.5 tablespoons of water. So that's about 1 3/4 tablespoons of water I'm going to be adding. So there's 1. Kind of guessing at the 3/4. Who wants soggy cheese? All right. And then we just need to stir it and grab a spoon. And then set it in the refrigerator while it refreshes. Okay, so we'll put the lid on and put it in the refrigerator. Put my moisture pack in there and set this aside. All right, next we'll do the onions. And the onions say, use 1/3 cup of water to 1 cup of onions. So once again, we're gonna do 1/2 cup of onions. See if we can get this one off a little easier. Wow, you can smell that onion smell. The other great thing about these products is that what you get is just the product. What's in this can? The ingredients? Chopped onions, that's it. So this is what they look like. All right, we'll do 1/2 cup. I probably will have more onion than what I need, but I'll save it for later. All right, the moisture pack is still in there. All right, so it says 1/3 cup of water to 1 cup of onions. So I'm using 1/2 cup of onions. 1/3 cup of water would equal 3 ounces or 90 milliliters. So I'm gonna be using 1.5 ounces of water to refresh the onions. 1 ounce of water is 30 milliliters. I'm using a little medicine cup with milliliter markings on it. Which helps me. So 3 ounces. So I'm using 1.5 ounces, so that's 45 milliliters. The way this is marked, I'm gonna do, I probably won't be this precise all the time, but for this video, I'm doing 15 milliliters times 3. That's 45. All right, let me get a different spoon. Actually got some nice little seafood forks I'll use to stir. Wow, and this is already coming back to life. So these are almost like minced onion. A little bit bigger than minced onion, but you get the idea. Okay. Really a very oniony aroma. All right, next we'll do the red peppers. And there's what they look like in the can. Take this moisture pack out for a minute. And these say 1/3 cup of water to 1 cup of peppers. So once again, I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of peppers. Moisture strip back in, and you can see that can's really full. So very lightweight and very full, and hopefully these are gonna last me a good little while. All right, so that's all of our products, and we're gonna do the same thing for the peppers. We're gonna add 45 milliliters or 1.5 ounces of water. Being a nurse came in handy when it came to figuring out the, well, if I could get it at 15, that'd be good. Helping me figure out the measurements, because you do a lot of calculations in milliliters when it comes to medication. All right, let me get this lid out of the way. And we'll stir these up. And then I have to wait about 30 minutes for the cheese to reconstitute. And the peppers, that's how they look right now. All right. And the onions have mostly absorbed all of that water. And that's how that looks. All right, so I'll get back with you as soon as everything's ready to go. Okay, so my foods are all ready, and I'm gonna prepare my eggs now. So I have 6 eggs here to scramble for my family. I love dill in my eggs, so I just add some dill, just kind of to taste. That's the way I cook. Have a little Himalayan salt, just to taste. And then to my eggs, I always add a dash of milk. Just whatever looks right. And then I'll just whisk these together and we'll be ready to start cooking. So I'm gonna turn my skillet on, let it start warming up. Take this to the sink. My peppers have just a little bit of extra water left over, so I'm just going to use this little strainer and strain them. They have a really nice, fresh taste to them. Tastes just like a red pepper. Let's get the cheese. So this is how my cheese turned out. Looks very nice. Nice and crumbly. Has a very nice fresh cheddar cheese taste. Some of it's still just a little bit crunchy. It maybe could have sat longer, or maybe I didn't add quite enough water, but not bad for the first time through. And like I said, it's fresh grated cheese. So now I'm gonna add a little butter to the pan. About a tablespoon of butter. Let that melt just a little bit. And then we'll pour our egg mixture in. I actually think I might put some of these onions in the pan. And let them start cooking a little bit first. So this was a half a cup of onions, and it's actually far too much just for this dish. So I probably could have gotten by with just 1/4 of a cup of onions. So, and that's something that I think you'll learn as you go along. I'm really excited to be using these products because I'm gonna be using them for each dish that I'm fixing. And that should hopefully reduce the amount of spoilage I have from foods not being used or leftovers not being eaten. So that's almost a half a cup after it's refreshed right there. So still quite a bit of onions I can use for another dish. All right, so I'm gonna let these cook just a little bit. I think I'll go ahead and add the peppers as well. Now the reconstituted peppers feel a little spongy, so maybe a little bit less water than what I had initially used. There's still water in the bottom here after I've already drained it. But yeah, they taste really good. So I think I'm gonna use all of these. But I didn't use as much onion because it actually has a very strong smell to it. So I was kind of afraid that it might be too strong if I use very much. Okay, my onions are starting to brown and start the caramelizing process, which is really great. That's what I'm after. Can you smell it? My son is in the living room, says he can smell it from in there. So that's good. All right, so we're gonna add the egg now. It smells really good. I'm gonna let that cook for just a little bit before I throw the cheese in there. This is gonna be a good test because my daughter is a little finicky about food and she won't eat anything that doesn't taste good. And she's already reporting how good it smells. So we shall see. If it gets Stephanie's favor, then I'd say it's pretty darn good. So we'll see. I like my eggs to be mostly done before I add the cheese because I don't like it to stick in the skillet any more than it has to. I'm gonna add some cheese now. And mix that up together. It's kind of hard to tell where I'm at in the pan while I'm watching the screen of my phone. I'm trying to keep it within your eyesight. Okay, so there they are. We'll give you a taste test in a minute. All right, Stephanie, say it again. What did you think?
I love the flavor. You really can't tell any difference at all.
Yeah, it tastes like food.
That's my picky eater. So my son says, yeah, it tastes like food. It's good. And let me try a bite here. I love the flavor of the peppers.
It's really strong.
Yeah.
Not strong, but it comes through.
Yeah, the flavor comes through. And I'm glad I didn't put very much onion in there. It has a nice onion flavor. But if I'd have put much more, it would have been really strong. It would have overpowered the eggs. So all in all, I'm very satisfied so far.